holiday turkey.
And a Norbest, no less.
Yes, you got to buy the Norbest.
Absolutely. But it starts with Thanksgiving, and then the insanity just continues and continues and continues. I'm beat.
Yeah, already, yes.
Yeah. Christmas is almost here.
Yes. Ooh, yes, thank goodness.
So we've been working on fun indoor workbench projects.
Right, trying out new ideas, if nothing else.
So these have been your projects.
Yes, my endeavor on the forced perspective.
Building fronts.
Yes.
We have some ideas for these on the railroad, but I think most of you just been enjoying building fronts.
Right. I got off on a deal with all these historic buildings, and they're from the area where I'm from, but just trying to recreate the past.
Looks like you're building them entirely out of wood.
Well, some of it's cardboard, some of it's balsa wood to make it light.
Oh, I see.
Yes. These are mostly just made out of scraps from the scrap bin.
Well, they look pretty good for scraps.
Right. I like to use everything.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like table scraps.
Exactly. Use everything but the oink. Yeah.
These are workbench scraps, not table scraps. But man, that's looking pretty good.
Oh, it's fun.
This was iteration number 1 on this, and I know
Right.
you keep working on it and changing it.
Oh, I'm not happy with some aspects of it, but I keep changing it.
Keep changing it. Well, that's what I've been doing too on all of my projects. I get to a point and I say, this could be better.
Right.
And so you change it.
You make it better. So this was the old Moroni Co-op building, and in case anybody's familiar with a co-op, but we had a store in town, and this would have been built back in about 1896. So I'm trying to depict it as it was in 1896 when it was brand new.
Yeah, because you used to shop here.
Right, that was much later on when it was just the grocery store, the big main building. The other little buildings were closed and boarded up by then.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
It is sad, and then it later caught fire.
Oh, dear. But you've recreated it.
I've recreated it, yes.
Along with other projects here at the bench. This is another one of your buildings.
Yes, this is another old building from the town I grew up in, and we called it Delina's. She had a little grocery store. She's an older lady. I mean, she must have been like 70-something when I was just a kid, but she had that store forever. And she'd walk to her store every single morning and open up the store, and she mostly sold penny candy.
I love the forced perspective.
Yes, it's fun.
Yeah, because the buildings are only about an inch deep or so.
Yeah, 2 inches at the max.
Yeah, and they look like they go way, way back. It's just
Right.
that's tricky the way you're doing it.
Yes, a little artist's eyeball there. So I've also been working on a kit, the one you gave me, because it looks just like the Dairy Queen in another town where I went to high school.
And this is a Walther's kit, an HO kit, but you've done a full interior.
I wanted to do the full interior, complete with lights and everything, hamburgers, the whole thing. It doesn't come to life unless there's lights.
Boy, and doesn't that bring it to life?
Oh, that brings back memories too.
Oh, man. Man, that place still stands.
It does. It's still there, yes, but they've added on to it, and it's now known as Rogers Dairy Freeze.
It looks like you're doing a little park.
Yes, at that time they had a little grassy area between the buildings, and it had picnic tables. But pretty small, pretty tiny.
That's neat. That'll be fun when you get the whole thing finished.
Oh, yes.
Oh, here's a fun project.
I started recreating my childhood home.
My favorite part's the basement.
Yes, that was where my dad had his workshop, and I laughed because I put glue, and it even made a cobweb.
Now, I've been working on all kinds of different things, but when my hips and knees and everything give it out, then I just sit at the bench and work on figures.
Oh, my.
Because I don't need to stand up or move around a whole lot, and if I'm in a lot of pain, I can just head over to the paint booth or whatever, and these figures here are just ones I'm painting.
Right, he looks like my grandpa.
And then I built this kit for the outdoor railroad. I wanted to get it out there before the first snow. This is just a Pico kit.
Oh, neat.
And I've had this 1968. That's not when I bought it, but that's when it was made. But I just put it together verbatim as per the instructions. No paint, no anything, and took it out on the Garden Railroad.
Oh, look at that.
I did put lighting in an interior.
And window shades.
Yeah,
yes,
you got to do
all that.
little bit of dress up. And then just as I got the power turned on out here, the first snow fell.
Yes.
And so we had a chance to test the snow plow. There's been 2 shows so far on the rotary snow plow. I love the first snowstorm in the winter.
It's always fun.
It's magical.
It
It's just
is.
like everything comes to this new winter existence. And so I cleared off the track. I was running trains. I was setting up photos and just having a great time out here. And then the storm continued on through the night. And the next morning it was also really brilliant. And I had a lot of fun out here running the plow. The next storm, however, buried everything.
Turned it into the Sierra Nevadas.
So we're done with the outdoor railroad. So I thought, well, I'll continue working on the Rotary inside. This will be the third show in the Rotary Snowplow series, but I'm building the tender.
Oh, look at that.
So this is again something I can do here at the paint booth and at the workbench. So here's the tender in its current iteration with the first bit of paint on there. I'm waiting for stencils. I'm
Right.
getting some stencils to do the lettering, and I also ran out of paint. So I'm waiting for a few things. This will be an after Christmas, and should be able to finish that up. In the meantime, I'm back on the logging railroad.
Oh, yeah.
So when the outdoor railroad took precedent, I just stopped working on the logging railroad, but I've got the backdrop up on the wall where it belongs. I've been painting and touching up the backdrop, but you've been building fronts.
Yes,
So it's that same technique.
it is. Just any kind. This is the foam board.
Yeah, foam board and again, printed material, forced perspective, interior lighting. One of the things we've been doing here is using some EL panels.
Right.
Electroluminescent panels for lighting some of the building interiors. And then a lot of that stuff runs from Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi or the spaghetti
The
bowl.
spaghetti balls. So anyway, all the lights are now all hooked up on the backdrop. Both practical incandescent lights, and then these are EL panels.
Yes, because these have to be even thinner. They're about a ½ inch thick is all.
Yeah, because there's just no clearance
Right.
between the track and the backdrop. And then I put the first module up in place. Steve and Don came over and helped get the modules in place. And I got the first one up in place, and then the second one up in place, and aligned the track and everything. And only then did I realize that there was a dreadful alignment problem.
After all that.
I double checked and triple checked and put this together 3 different times, and when we finally put it up for real once and all, it's out of alignment. So I had to move these brackets.
Ay, ay, ay.
So this is yesterday's project, actually, was moving these brackets and redoing this so that the third module that will go in right here, and I'm double checking for square, plumb level and square all the way around to make sure everything's going to align. But anyway, there's the current state of affairs up on the logging railroad.
There it is.
And so that too will be some future shows as the logging railroad gets finished and finally, once and for all, comes to life.
Yes.
It'll be nice to have the logging railroad actually running. In the meantime, lots more bench projects.
Exactly. There was this one.
There's this one, and we're going to have a whole bunch of these just fun projects after the new year, workbench projects and indoor projects and not so much outdoor projects. But all of these things will be shows, but on Saturday, we have the Christmas show. Notice I said Saturday, not Sunday.
Yes.
We're putting that up a day early.
Right, because you can't miss this.
Yeah, because this is Christmas. So
This is.
We're going to put this up for Christmas on Saturday. Well, if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe by clicking on the blue button, which is coming up just now. Right there, the blue button. Well, we're not sure how you found this video on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring, and we will see you here on Christmas Day.
Yes.
Feliz Navidad. See you
See ya.
then. Bye-bye.
Bye.